Summer's hair was prepared with Sensory's healthy shampoo and conditioner, enriched with blackberry and bergamot 3-step daily regimen. Contains a unique ingredient called Caraves, which is a hair strengthening complex. With repeated use, it can improve the strength of weak and damaged hair 4 times more than your traditional products. It helps restore hair strength, health, and vitality. I am working with the Healthy Leave-In Strengthening Treatment. It aids in combability, adding strength, luster, and shine. The look that I'm working on Summer today is a modern shape of today's bi-level dome. Working on shorter side area, leaving the back a bit longer and heavier, and working with a lot of texture throughout the crown area. First, working in the back of the head, separating the hair in 2 sections, starting with my RUSK-Delta Swivel Thumb Blades. The RUSK-Delta Swivel Thumb Blade is a perfect balanced conventional cutting blade. Starting right at the center in the back of the head, just creating my length, cutting it straight across, keeping it nice and solid around the perimeter. When working on shapes like this, you do not want to keep the hair extremely long in the back and cut it extremely short around the ears, because then it will look like an old-fashioned mullet, which is very passé. We can utilize past inspirations and incorporate it with modern technique to create glam hair. So working on this bi-level dome, I will be using the RUSK rotation technique, incorporating with zigzags. It's definitely taking the rotation technique and kick it up another notch. So establishing the length in the back area, continuing on to the side, taking the side section from right on top of the ear to the front of the face, creating a nice solid line from the cheek area down to the bottom of the ear. So taking it to a nice length to create a nice balance. So working from the cheek area right down to the bottom of the ear, making sure that shorter section does not fall behind the ear. So doing the same thing on this side. Now working and creating the length from shorter in the front of the face, working to a slightly longer angle to the back. So you see this have a really nice balance on the side, have a nice solid perimeter throughout the back, and then the same on the other side. Now I have established the perimeter of my haircut. I will be going into my zigzag rotation. Taking the zigzags from the side of the head, working across the back above the occipital area to the other side. The reason why I am taking the zigzag sections with my rotation, I want to create nice, short, chunky textures throughout the top, keeping the perimeter quite heavy and more one length feel. So as you can see, the perfect zigzags that goes from one side of the head to the other side of the head. A key point to remember is you have to keep the zigzags equal in size and keep it quite balanced across the back of the head. So taking everything below the zigzags out of the way, I want to keep that area quite one length. So I want to secure this section with a band. I mean, you could do whatever you want. You could tie it up with a clip. You could braid it up if you're working with a little bit longer lengths, but I'm just securing it with a band, and just make sure that section does not get in my way when I am working on the top area. So you see these perfect zigzags right around from one side to the other. I will be working on the top of Summer's hair and working with the rotation. I will first establish the core section, which is the guide for the entire top part of my haircut. just combing the hair down, not disturbing the zigzags underneath. So just combing the hair gently and just lifting it up slightly so you will not comb that hair into the zigzags. So taking a section about 2" by 2" square, just holding it straight up, still using my Rusk Delta swivel thumb blade to establish my length. So you want to spread that section out because that will be the guide now for the whole top area. So to connect the section to create that chunky, shorter texture throughout the top, you want to take the hair in triangular sections all around the head. Each time you pick up that triangular section, you want to take a piece of the core in that section to act as the guide. So keeping the sections really clean, you see the zigzag, that's not disturbed. Keeping that nice and tight, keeping those zigzags intact, just holding the hair straight out. I want to create a nice head shape in the back of the head. So taking it straight out and cutting it straight across, and just keeping that section separately. Continuing to the next section, just holding it straight out from the head. No angles, no degrees, just straight out from the head. It's just that simple. This will enable me to get a really nice chunky texture that conforms to the head shape. So now working with the zigzags, so you want to really keep that hair, the two sections separately, not picking up any of the hair that's underneath the zigzags. Now holding that hair straight up and cutting it straight across. You know, at Rusk, we don't talk about angles. We don't talk about degrees. Basically, we have a very simple approach to hair cutting. We break it down so it's really easy to follow, and you can duplicate this haircut in no time. So working to the front of the haircut, making sure to take a part of that core into the section. Just hold it straight out. As you can see, the front is slightly dragged back, so it enables me to keep the length in the front of the head. So working on the next section, just keep that section out nice and clean. Taking that straight up and connecting right to the length in the front. Creating shorter textures at the crown area and working to a slightly longer front. Continue on to the next section and connecting it through. The rotation technique is a simple way to approach hair. It allows us to think about hair in two separate sections. First, we think about the perimeter of the haircut. Then we work on the interior of the haircut. Makes it quite simple to establish and create the shapes of today. So you can see I have established the interior of my haircut in just simple 7 sections on the top. The Rusk swivel thumb gamma blades. The gamma blades is very much like your traditional thinning blade, except the teeth are slightly wider apart. It allows us to get a really nice, smooth, velvety texture without thinning the hair quite that much as your traditional thinning blade.